How can a woman who vanished without a trace for over 22 years, her family and friends left in agonizing silence, be dismissed as a mere statistic by the police? Her bank accounts, once filled with the promise of a new beginning, drained to nothing, and her pension left to languish unclaimed. This perplexing enigma has haunted the New South Wales Police Department in Australia, and it became a burning question when a group of tenacious internet sleuths and a groundbreaking podcast unearthed shocking evidence that would shatter the veil of this chilling case. In 1997, Marian Barter was more than just a name in a missing persons report. She was a vibrant 51-year-old primary school teacher at the Southport School in Queensland, who adored ballet and longed for the thrill of the opera. Yet beneath her poised exterior, Marian was searching for something far more elusive: a soulmate, a love that could fill the void left by 3 failed marriages. Her relentless hope was her guiding light, but in March of that fateful year, it was as if a switch had been flipped, plunging her into darkness. With startling suddenness, she abandoned her career, sold her home, and announced to her bewildered family that she was embarking on a sabbatical to explore Europe. They tried to understand her whims, believing she was simply chasing her dreams at 51, and offered their unwavering support. Yet doubt crept into her daughter Sally Leedon's heart, a gnawing unease that became unbearable when she experienced a bizarre encounter that would haunt her forever. One evening, as the neon lights of a local McDonald's flickered in the dusk, Sally pulled in for a quick bite. Little did she know, this stop would unveil a chilling moment. Through the haze of petrol fumes, she spotted her mother, Marion, poised at a pump, her demeanor instantly shifting as their eyes locked. In a surreal twist, Marion dropped the pump, hastily retreated to her car, and sped away, leaving Sally in a haze of confusion. Who was the man in the passenger seat? Why did Marion flee? Instinctively, a sense of foreboding settled over Sally, intensifying with each passing day. Sally watched helplessly as Marion gradually distanced herself from the family. She was a woman who, by all accounts, seemed to need companionship, yet she drifted away like a ghost. As June 22, 1997, approached, Marion was last seen waiting at a bus stop in Queensland before boarding a flight. The journey was supposed to be a simple escape, but the truth was far more sinister. Her passenger card revealed intentions of relocating to Luxembourg, an astonishing twist that sent shockwaves through her family. What could compel a woman to reinvent herself just weeks before vanishing? Marion had legally changed her name to Florabella Natalia Marian Reignited, a fact that would take years for investigators to uncover. Her family, blissfully unaware of this transformation, believed she was merely on holiday. As the postcards and calls from Europe trickled in, they breathed a sigh of relief, convinced she was simply finding herself. But as August turned to September, that comforting facade began to shatter. As the family grappled with the stark reality of Marion's silence, Sally took matters into her own hands, contacting Marion's bank. Their initial resistance faded when they unearthed disturbing patterns of withdrawals, money siphoned from her accounts, and with each transaction, the sinking dread deepened. By August 2nd, just a day after that final call, $80,000 vanished into thin air, prompting Sally to report her mother missing. But the police dismissed her concerns, convinced Marion had chosen this path willingly. Yet even this revelation was met with skepticism, as the police concluded Marion had faked her own disappearance. The family was left reeling, the air thick with confusion and despair, as they desperately searched for answers. Then, a breakthrough came in the form of a podcast, The Lady Vanishes, which captivated listeners and reignited interest in Marion's case. With over 12 million downloads, it became a digital wildfire, attracting a legion of amateur detectives eager to uncover the truth. As the family grappled with Marion's growing silence, they clung to the hope that she was simply enjoying her newfound freedom. But the illusion shattered on August 1st, 1997, during a fateful phone call from a payphone in Tunbridge Wells. As Sally listened, dread crept into her heart. Marion, her voice strained, declared that she would no longer send postcards or letters. She insisted this decision was not about the family, reassuring Sally that she was the best daughter. But deep down, Sally felt the heavy weight of something far more sinister lurking beneath her mother's words. Sally felt helpless, her heart aching as she realized she was miles away from the woman she loved, unable to reach her. Just weeks later, a postcard arrived from Sussex, exuding an air of casual bliss. Marion wrote of a wonderful time claiming to be brave for renting a car to drive to Amsterdam. Yet beneath the cheerful facade, Sally sensed a haunting disconnect. The woman who once sought companionship now seemed to be drifting further into an abyss, her words tinged with an unsettling undercurrent that left Sally's heart racing. Then it happened, the chilling silence that shattered their last semblance of hope. Marion failed to call on her son Owen's 23rd birthday, a date that was sacred in their family. It was a final straw for Sally. Deep down, she knew her mother would never miss such a significant day. A profound dread settled in her chest. Something terrible had happened. But where could she begin to search for the woman who had become a phantom in their lives? With her heart pounding, Sally turned to Marion's bank, desperate for any lead. At first, the bank was reluctant to cooperate, their walls of bureaucracy towering over her. But when they glimpsed the suspicious activity draining Marion's accounts, their tone shifted. They finally relented, revealing unsettling withdrawals that would send Sally spiraling deeper into despair. On August 2nd, the day after that fateful call, a horrifying revelation came to light. Money began vanishing from Marion's accounts. She had just sold her home for this trip, leaving a substantial sum at risk. The stakes escalated when the bank revealed the shocking truth. Every day for 3 weeks, $5,000 was siphoned from her accounts, not in Europe as one might expect, but in 2 locations in New South Wales, Australia. A wave of dread crashed over Sally. The reality of her mother's situation was becoming painfully clear. In a frenzy of desperation, Sally rushed to the police to report Marion missing. Just days after her report, another gut-wrenching blow struck. A staggering $80,000 vanished from Marion's account, leaving the bank powerless to trace its destination. The family was plunged into a state of alarm, but the police seemed unfazed. Instead, they reached out to Sally with a phone call that sent chills down her spine. "They told me they had located my mom," she recounted, "but she didn't want anyone to know where she was or what she was doing." The words felt hollow, a mere echo of the truth that eluded her. Sally felt a deep unease settle within her. Something was off. The police had spoken to a bank teller who claimed Marion expressed a desire to start anew, and they seemed all too willing to accept this narrative. To the investigators, the case was closed, neatly tied with a bow. But for Sally and the family, the haunting silence grew unbearable. They were desperate to reach Marion, but with her bank accounts emptied and communication cut off, their hopes were dwindling, leaving them grappling with an unsettling void. The money Marion had set aside in bank accounts in England lay untouched, marking the chilling silence of her disappearance. Within a year, the family was left with nothing but questions and a gnawing sense of dread. On her wedding day, a day Marion had eagerly helped her plan, Sally stood at the altar, heart heavy with expectation, yearning for her mother's presence. Yet the seat where Marion should have sat remained ominously empty, a stark reminder of the love that had vanished without a trace. As time wore on, doubt seeped into Sally's thoughts like a slow poison. She questioned whether something sinister had occurred, or if this was simply Marion's way of severing ties. Was she betraying her mother's wishes by pursuing answers? Each scenario felt equally devastating. Yet amidst the turmoil, a flicker of hope remained alive within her, a steadfast belief that one day she would uncover the truth and hear her mother's voice once more. With unwavering determination, Sally continued her relentless pursuit, frequently returning to the police, pleading for them to acknowledge her anguish. Finally, in 2011, a flicker of hope emerged when Byron-based senior detective Constable Gary Sheehan revisited the case. It wasn't an official investigation. He delved into it during quiet moments, piecing together fragments as he discovered the original files had vanished. Starting from scratch, he became an unexpected ally in Sally's desperate quest for the truth. It was Sheehan who uncovered a startling revelation: Marion had changed her name just before embarking on her European adventure. This crucial detail took investigators 4 long years to unveil, yet instead of pursuing the truth, the police hastily concluded that Marion had orchestrated her own disappearance. With a dismissive finality, they closed her case once more, leaving Sally and her family reeling from yet another cruel twist of fate. Sally and her family were engulfed in a fog of confusion and concern over this unexpected turn of events. Questions swirled around them. Why would Marion suddenly change her name? Why hadn't she confided in them? Yet amidst the chaos, a sliver of direction emerged, one that fueled their determination to uncover the truth. But as it often happens in tales of mystery, Marion's trail quickly went cold once more, slipping through their fingers like sand. Between 2011 and 2019, Sally could only gather the official documents pertaining to Marion's name change, and the trail remained frustratingly sparse. Then, a beacon of hope emerged when Allison Sandy, a Freedom of Information officer at 7 News, took an interest in Marion's case. She transformed the haunting story into a podcast, and within a month of its release, The Lady Vanishes soared past 1 million downloads, a staggering figure that now surpassed 12 million, drawing in listeners eager to uncover the truth behind Marion's disappearance. Faced with a mystery that seemed insurmountable, the internet did what it does best: mobilized its vast network to solve the puzzle. Thousands of tips and theories flooded in, each one adding to the cacophony of speculation. Yet, amidst the noise, one voice rose above the rest, offering a glimmer of hope, a single piece of information that would turn the entire case on its head. Joni Kondos, a cookbook writer and former social worker, became captivated by Marion's case, unable to shake the haunting details from her mind. One name, in particular, reignited, pulled her in like a magnetic force. When they said the name, I got this weird feeling in my gut, she later recalled, a visceral response that ignited her determination to unravel this perplexing mystery. Driven by instinct, Joni scoured online databases, testing different combinations of the name, praying for a breakthrough. Then, in a moment of electric clarity, she struck gold. My heart just went into my throat, she later described, the weight of the discovery making it hard to breathe. This moment would set the wheels of fate into motion, pushing her deeper into the shadows of Marion's world. Joni uncovered a tantalizing lead: in Australian Lonely Hearts ad from 1994, where a man described himself as 47 years old, single, large, brunette, sober, non-smoker, university graduate, multi-homeowner, intelligent, multilingual, genuine, morally aligned, seeking a lady with a free heart for a lasting relationship. The ad was signed Fernand Nicola Reignited. Joni's intuition screamed that she was onto something significant. Delving deeper, she refined her search, this time including Reignited's age. To her astonishment, she found a single hidden address in Luxembourg, the very destination Marion had indicated on her passenger card. For many, this was a coincidence that could not be ignored, and they began to treat the ad with newfound seriousness. Another avid listener of the podcast ventured to the library, determined to unearth a physical copy of the ad. His persistence paid off when he uncovered a phone number linked to it, a number that had been active in 1995 for a company called Bellina Coin Investments. Each discovery added a layer of intrigue, weaving a complex tapestry of connections that deepened the mystery. The company was owned by a married couple, Frederick and Diane de Hedevry, a tantalizing clue that Joni was not about to overlook. With relentless determination, she obtained Frederick's immigration file, revealing a startling list of over 30 known aliases, each name a shadow of the man behind them. The evidence mounted, revealing that Frederick had legally changed his name a staggering 12 times, painting a picture of a man shrouded in deception. Joni and Sally pooled their findings, weaving a narrative of connections and clues that demanded attention. Determined to ensure their concerns were taken seriously, Sally presented the evidence to the police with a newfound urgency. At long last, 22 years after Marian Barter's mysterious disappearance, the police assembled a task force to investigate. Armed with the groundwork laid by Joni and Sally, investigators began sifting through Frederick's documentation, ultimately uncovering an expired Queensland driver's license for Fernand Reignited, an echo from the past that could hold the key to unraveling the mystery. As the task force pursued leads, Joni dove back into her investigation, driven by an insatiable need for answers. she uncovered a chilling trace of Marion. Someone had entered Australia under the name and passport of Florabella Natalia Marian Barter, arriving just one day after that haunting final phone call to Sally, coinciding eerily with the disappearance of the funds from Marion's account. On her passenger card, Florabella claimed she was merely visiting for 8 days, presenting herself as a housewife from Luxembourg, an unsettling glimpse into the life she had left behind. The web of coincidences connecting Marion to Fernand Barter tightened like a noose. Joni managed to obtain Marion's passenger card, and when Sally laid eyes on it, she instantly recognized her mother's familiar handwriting. In that moment, the unsettling truth washed over them: Marion had returned. All those gifts, the cheerful postcards, and her last conversation with Sally had masked a harrowing reality. She had come back without uttering a word about her true intentions. But that was a haunting echo from 1997. The pressing question lingered: where is she now? This became the focal point of the inquest launched against Fernand Barter in 2021. By then, Fernand was in his 80s, his appearance reminiscent of everyone's kindly grandfather. Yet, as he took the witness stand, his demeanor shifted. He was adamant, insistent that he had no connection to Marion's fate or the reasons behind her disappearance, his words hanging in the air like a dense fog. Yet the court unveiled a parade of ex-wives and girlfriends, each testifying to the true nature of Fernand Barter. Their stories, woven together by shared experiences, revealed a disturbing pattern: each had encountered him through Lonely Hearts ads. Whether he was known as Fernand, Rick Bloom, or Nick West, he had a singular modus operandi: luring women into a whirlwind of excitement and romance, only to leave them shattered in his wake. Fernand's charm was a facade, expertly crafted to persuade women to sell their homes or dip into their savings to finance the fantasy he painted: a new life filled with promise, perhaps even investing in his supposed business ventures that were guaranteed to succeed. He vehemently denied any wrongdoing. However, one of his ex-wives, Monique Cornelius, the widow of the real Fernand Barter, produced damning evidence: a letter penned by the imposter Fernand during the 1980s, when he masqueraded as Frederick. "Hello, my beloved one. To my heart that you received this letter. If only I am Frederick, not Fernand. If my sentiments are found to echo in your heart." The words dripped with a chilling mix of sincerity and manipulation, as he continued, "If you decide to marry me, one day my father will say to you." Monique's voice trembled as she recited the letter, revealing a litany of long-winded compliments that masqueraded as affection. "I love you, Monique. And you are an authentic magician who possesses the gift to beautify every moment that I have not with you." Each line painted a picture of a man skilled in deception, weaving dreams that would ultimately turn into nightmares. "You say yes, I am crazy, that I scream, 'Oh, I have made it, you beautiful bastards, I've made it.'" The letter took a bizarre turn, revealing a tangled web of obsession and allure. "Never mind, Monique, you're a song in a man's testicles." The crude metaphor hung in the air, a testament to the strange mix of affection and manipulation. "My enchantress, I have never in my life made love like that with anyone before," he penned, each line dripping with lyrical seduction. "Monday I leave the UK and Ireland for a few days to buy our boat." He described a vision of a 40-foot vessel, ideal for their future adventures together, cloaked in dreams of romance. "I want to know this country, which is as sweet as your smile, pretty as your eyes, and warm like the love that I have for you." Each word wrapped around Monique like a shroud, blurring the line between passion and peril. "I'm intimately persuaded that you will not regret your decision to leave with me and start a new life." But Monique's fairy tale ended in betrayal. When she spoke to the police, her voice was steady but filled with pain. "Frederick is always lying," she asserted. "He invents stories and weaves tales, constantly covering his tracks." That's how he manipulates. Her words resonated with the chilling familiarity of countless others ensnared in his web, a harrowing reminder of the dark side of charm. "He manipulated me and lied to me," Monique recounted, her voice trembling with suppressed anger. "At the start of our relationship, he claimed to work for the British Embassy in Luxembourg as a special agent. The absurdity of it all cut deep, revealing the depths of his deceit. When confronted, Fernand dismissed it all, insisting that everyone in the inquest was lying, a desperate attempt to rewrite the narrative and absolve himself of guilt. To put it in his own words, she's lying, lying, lying. Fernand's defensive posture only added to the growing evidence against him. Diane de Hederveer, his fourth wife, painted a vivid picture of their life together, revealing that they had lived in Luxembourg and in a quaint village near Tunbridge Wells, the very last place Marion had called from. He convinced me to invest in his coin business, she confessed, promising it would be the key to a prosperous future, where he would trade in rare coins. Each revelation painted a portrait of manipulation that resonated with an unsettling familiarity. The courtroom echoed with the voice of the next woman, Janet Oldenburg, as she recounted her own harrowing tale. After her husband divorced her, Rick West had swooped in, charming her with promises of a new beginning. He convinced her to leave everything behind and move to the French Riviera for a fresh start. But as their plans took shape, Rick demanded something chilling: power of attorney over Janet and her property, in case something happens. The insidious implications of his request hung heavily in the air, a clear indication of the control he sought. As they set off for their new life, Rick held all of Janet's identity papers and title deeds in his possession, never returning them. Together, they visited locations that would later appear in Marion's postcards, creating a facade of bliss that masked deeper troubles. But then came the moment of betrayal. Rick left her to take care of some business in Manchester, during which he claimed to have been robbed, and all of Janet's documentation vanished without a trace. Each detail in her story deepened the shadows surrounding Fernand's web of deceit. Fernand flatly denied Janet's allegations, yet his pattern of manipulation was painfully clear, mirrored in the stories of the women who had come before. The courtroom was charged with tension as investigators repeatedly pressed him with the same haunting question: where is Marian Barter? The weight of that inquiry lingered in the air, a relentless reminder of the unresolved mystery that had ensnared so many lives. Fernand's denial was unwavering as he claimed ignorance of Marion's whereabouts. He recounted their relationship in 1997, labeling her as a sex addict, suggesting that her needs had suffocated their connection, prompting him to end it. He insisted he had no involvement in the mysterious withdrawals from her accounts, his words a feeble defense against the mounting evidence stacked against him. The courtroom hung on his every word, the tension palpable as the truth continued to evade their grasp. In October 2022, the inquest took a dramatic turn as a former bank manager stepped forward with chilling testimony. Joan Hazlett recalled a vivid encounter with Marian Barter on the very day she made that final fateful withdrawal. "I am 90% sure," she asserted, "that the woman now featured on the missing persons billboard came into the bank that day. A flower tucked in her hair." The image painted a haunting picture of Marion's last known moments, stirring emotions within the courtroom. Joan's testimony grew even more unsettling as she revealed that Marion had introduced herself by a different name, claiming she was heading to Bali to find herself. Alarm bells rang in Joan's mind. The amount Marion was withdrawing was substantial enough to raise suspicions. As the bank manager, she felt compelled to verify Marion's identification, a precaution that now loomed large in the unfolding mystery. Each detail Joan shared added layers of complexity to the enigma surrounding Marion's fate. The questions loomed large. Was it truly Marion who had made that withdrawal, or was it someone acting on Fernand's behalf, scheming to drain the last remnants of her funds? Had he manipulated her into believing she was embarking on a new life with an exotic man, the elusive love she had long sought? These chilling possibilities weighed heavily on the coroner's shoulders as the court prepared to issue a statement in November 2022, aiming to shed light on Fernand's potential involvement in the perplexing disappearance of Marian Barter. In the early days of the inquest in 2021, Sally in the courtroom bore witness to a haunting video of Fernand's interrogation. As he adamantly denied any knowledge of Marion's fate, the weight of his words crashed down on Sally like a tidal wave. Overwhelmed, she burst into tears, struggling to regain her composure amidst the heart-wrenching revelation. The emotional toll of the experience reverberated through her, a painful reminder of the relentless search for answers. "My body was having a complete meltdown like I've never experienced before," Sally later reflected, her voice quaking with emotion. The pain of 25 years searching for answers, the stress, all came to a head and hit me like a freight train. Yet, amid the darkness, she held on to a flicker of hope. "The truth is like water, it will always find a way," she proclaimed, her conviction a powerful testament to the unwavering belief that one day, the answers would emerge from the shadows. As the inquest progressed, Sally's determination solidified, ignited by the hope of finally unearthing the truth about her mother's disappearance. She dedicated herself to collaborating with investigators, tirelessly sifting through documents and pursuing every lead. Each new piece of information rekindled her resolve, the mystery entwining itself with her identity. She became the voice for Marion, unwavering in her pursuit, unwilling to let go until every shadow was illuminated. With the unwavering support of her family and a community rallying behind her, Sally began to sense that justice might finally be within her grasp. She attended every court session, her heart racing with a blend of anticipation and dread, each moment pulsing with the weight of possibility. Clinging tightly to her belief that, despite the passage of years, the truth would ultimately rise to the surface, she felt a renewed sense of purpose guiding her every step. As the investigation unfolded, fresh revelations cascaded into view, weaving a more intricate tapestry of Marion's life and the relationships she had forged. Each new discovery added layers of complexity to the narrative, exposing the elaborate web of connections surrounding her mysterious disappearance. The quest for answers transformed into a profound journey of understanding, a search not only for Marion but for the deeper truths hidden within the shadows of her existence. Ultimately, the inquest became more than a mere legal proceeding. It stood as a testament to the enduring love of a daughter for her mother, a reflection of the unbreakable bond that connected them through the years. No matter how long the journey took, Sally was resolute in her pursuit of the truth, determined to give her mother the voice that had been silenced and to finally bring closure to a case that had haunted their family for far too long. Each step forward was a tribute to Marion, echoing the relentless heartbeat of hope.